Hey Capricorn, welcome to Wild Pearl Tarot. Today we're going to be doing a timeless tarot and oracle reading for you, asking what's coming towards you. Whenever you see this, that's when you're meant to find it. And that being said, of course, only take what resonates. I encourage you guys to check out your rising, your moon. If you'd like for me to pray for you, if you'd like other Capricorns at this channel to send you their good energy, say hi in the comment section or leave an emoji, whatever feels right to you. And that gives us something that we can focus on that uniquely represents your energy. It's only love and light in this space, you guys. We start with the messages: windfall of abundance. An increase in abundance is arriving in many different forms, Capricorn. Some of them are unexpected. Be open to receiving and know that this abundance comes to you to support your life purpose, health, and charitable work. This came out in your pre-shuffle and I decided to keep it. And I'm glad I did. The next one is do the work. Nobody needs to tell a Capricorn that. Do the work, Cappy. It's not enough to dream or pray. You've also got to take the positive action steps that you are being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will make them flourish like a lush flower garden. Nice. Very cool. Gonna implement. All right. What's coming towards my Capricorns? If this resonates with you guys, if you love this channel, if you enjoy this message, please help this channel grow. It's free. Help me make you my day job by hitting the like button or the hype button. Thank you. Coming towards my Cappies. Look at that. 3 of Pentacles, getting the support you need, collaboration, energy, excitement, enthusiasm, Page of Wands. Hard work, here it is, do the work. 8 of Pentacles. What are you up to, Capricorn? Leaving something behind that no longer serves you. Headed to something new completely. And then with the power of the High Priestess, awesome. Flipping the deck, we have the Moon card energy. We've got the 5 of Wands. That could be competition, facing the competition. The World card to have a brand new chapter. That's pretty cool. We're gonna unpack this right now. That's the 3 of Pentacles. You guys, I'm kind of nursing a summer cold, so I might put on my sunglasses. I apologize that I won't be able to make eye contact with you, but the sunlight sometimes makes me want to sneeze. But I think it's healing me, you guys. I think by each time I do a reading, I feel a little bit better. So I need to get down to the bottom of this. What's the Page of Wands? You got people. You got people in your reading, boo. I think that in order to achieve what you want to achieve, you got to work with people. You got to implement this plan using other people. All right, so we start with this 3 of Pentacles energy, and this is collaboration, okay? So basically people all together who've got a shared common goal. But there's something about this that felt a little bit hopeless, or maybe it was like, got your hopes up and then they crashed. In light of this, I think there's going to be an important conversation. Now, this could be between 2 people. It could be romantic, like it could be your partner at home. It doesn't have to be, though. The Lovers card comes out talking about an alignment with another individual who's important to you and a partnership. It came out upright, which I really like. This means it's a very important, like I said, a relationship, but there's usually a choice involved, and it's kind of hidden behind a conversation, according to this reading. We've got the Queen of Wands, who is an individual who's coming through your reading as confident and fiery, knowing what they want. What I like about the confidence of the Queen of Wands is it sparks attention from others. It sparks action from others, oftentimes. And so we have a Knight of Swords energy showing up for you. This is a conversation that another person's probably going to instigate. What is this conversation about? Probably, most likely, the Star card in reverse, like this, something happened to kind of make somebody feel a little hopeless in a situation. Yeah, boy, 3 of Swords. Something's disappointed you. Now, I will say, if this ends up being a romantic reading, it'll be funny because it's so work focused. There's not very romantic. It's like definitely about the effort you put into implementing a plan and all that. If it is romantic, then this is probably talking about maybe a disappointment one experienced, like you experienced with like maybe online dating, or because the Three of Pentacles can be online dating. It can also be like friends hook you up with somebody and something happened where it was like, you're just disappointed. Somebody's disappointed. All right. So what I like about this though is it's addressing it. Where's this going to go? Independence and strength. Yeah. I don't think you're settling. This is the I won't settle card combination. This is 9 of Pentacles with a strength card. You are focusing on yourself. You're focusing on your agenda, what makes you happy. You're investing in yourself. The rest of your reading is really, it's really positive. So we're going to get another deck of cards. And this is why I was laughing. If it is a romantic reading, my God, it's like you are very much focused and practical about the whole thing. There's a sense with the Page of Wands and the King of Swords. I'm going to take it 2 different ways here. Either there's a sense of like when you feel that excitement about something, there's this energy within you, this voice in you that says, don't get ahead of yourself. Step back, calm down. It's a very true, a very truthful and rational and analytical voice. To kind of quell the inner child that gets overexcited and exuberant and like, what if, let's do it, So there's a balance of energies here. One is a very mature, like kind of life of hard knocks, like school of hard knocks type of energy with the King of Swords, like lived it and knows what to do about the situation. And then Page of Wands is like a really kind of, can be somewhat naive, but really positive. And from this place, actually, you're manifesting something. I like the mixture of this. Even if the King of Swords is actually not you and it's somebody else who's weighing in with their opinion on something that you feel really excited about, there's a balancing effect. And this is what it's causing. It's opening your mind to some important new ideas, which is Page of Swords. Cool. It's opening your mind to new communications, new ideas, and allowing you to be influenced specifically in ways you can recover, you can heal, you can get back up on your feet. Okay? Yep. And it's all about that conversation. So let me give you an example. Let's say this person reaching out to you, there's some initial excitement that they're reaching out to you, especially in light of a disappointment. But then there's this really, whether it's a friend and a counselor of some sort, advisor, or you, there's this really analytical voice that's like, calm down. Remember that there was a reason you felt this way in the first place. Just balancing it out, basically. So you got this really nice balance. And what's occurring by the time this conversation happens, I think that it's ensuring that you approach this conversation in a really honest and healthy way. And it allows you to move on. It allows you to recover. Hey, Miss Freya. So now we've got this hard work, deep focus card of the 8 of Pentacles. What is this energy for Capricorn? It's like you're trying to make up for lost time. And be careful of being too hard on yourself. When that hamster gets on its wheel and starts working, your brain is not always your best friend. You could be sometimes overthinking a situation and that made you feel like you were wasting your time. The 7 of Pentacles is like, yeah, you could definitely get on that soapbox of like, I did this for them, or I really did this for that cause. And just focus on the hard work, because this is going to be, it's going to quell any of that anxiety. The more you focus on what you want to make happen for you, the better you're going to feel. But it's not like as if that's that little voice that says, man, you wasted your time. it's not like it's not going to visit you once in a while, but be careful of like getting entrenched in any gossip about it. Be careful of going down the rabbit hole when we sometimes get on social media or we look up and research things that we know getting the answers to aren't going to move us along in our lives in a positive way. And this is where your hope lies. This is where the Star card comes out again for you, but it's upright. I'm going to put my sunglasses on so I'm not squinting. Yeah. Tell me more about that. This is like your prayers are getting answered. Your wishes are being granted. The Star card is hope and recovery. After a difficult period, apparently, in this reading. You know, there's this interesting energy with the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands. What a cool combination. This says, you know what? I don't care anymore if the wool was pulled over my eyes. I don't care if there's any kind of deceptive energy. I know what I know. I know what I want. I know how I feel about something. You're not letting doubts creep in. And it's you acknowledging that you don't know everything about the situation. And you don't give two hoots. Yeah, because you are in your King of Wands energy. I think you're really looking out at the future now. You're deeply focused. Your confidence is going to be very noticeable by others. I think you're stepping into the King of Wands energy, which is fiery, it's ambitious, it's determined and confident. And that's the turning point in your reading, right here. Because this is when you stop giving two hoots. This is when, I don't know why I'm saying two hoots. Who the hell says that? I never say that. What am I, like 75 years old? No shade to my 75-year-old viewers, but two hoots, that's an older saying. We've got Eight of Cups here. And those cups at one point represented everything you wanted, everything you desired, feelings, emotions, a relationship maybe. You're turning on your heel and you're headed towards the unknown and you're using your intuition to do so. Oh, interesting. Ten of Swords in reverse. What is this Ten of Swords in reverse? You're open to new options. You know that your past is still connected to you a little bit. That's just realistic. But you're working your way out of an emotional place with it. And your mind, the most important thing that's been like a theme through your whole reading is that your mind is getting open. It's being opened to the future. It's being open to new possibilities, to new ideas, to different ways you can look at something, to different ways you can read the information at hand. And you're doing so on the material, as far as the material plane, like your money and your stability, you're actually pretty protective. So you're not overspending. You're not going to be overly generous. You're being very practical with your energy and expending it. But then at the same time, you're kind of opening up your mind to new possibilities of how to take action in your life. Excuse me. High Priestess, please. You're stepping into a very intuitive time in your life. You know, we're seeing, this is your next chapter, like after this. Wow, interesting. Your reading is all over the place. It's a very specific reading. I don't know what you're going through, but you've got two people coming out here. Somebody who's really cold and practical, like they're too cold. And then we've got, and they're very stubborn. They're like very set in their ways. And then we've got the King of Cups, who's very flexible and open and willing and empathic and sensitive and creative and kind. And So we've got two opposite energies. One is cold and decisive and pragmatic, but like to a degree, to a fault, where they're not flexible at all to other people. And the other is very approachable. I'm wondering, this is either two sides of you and you're going back and forth and like, which one takes precedence? Which one takes control of the situation? Or these are two people in your world and you have to make a choice between them. And you're using your intuition to be your guide. It looks like you're leaving one of them. You're leaving one of them and you're going towards somebody who makes you very excited, but they're coming towards you just as quick. I think actually they're coming towards you quicker, and it's up to you whether you want to take their offer. And they're going to be offering something with a lot of enthusiasm. We'll say that. Let's say this, if this were romantic, which like this would be the most unromantic romance reading if I it's very practical. And we do, when we're dating or we're making decisions in love, we have to sometimes be very practical in how we go about doing it. But if this were romantic, this would be somebody who's coming towards you with a lot of passion. You just want to make sure to be careful. If you don't want a one-night stand, just make sure that you guys have the same goal here. Or if it's with a career, this is somebody who's offering a project or a job, an idea, like let's take action type of thing. But you are definitely making a choice between these two energies of like kind of the inflexible, stubborn, cold aspect of a situation or a person, or the warm, intuitive, kind, and compassionate side. We deem usually the softer side. So that's either a side of you or a person you're going towards. You guys are all going through different things. So I hope that was helpful. You guys, what a weird reading. I hope it was helpful. Yeah. Let me know. Take good care. Bye-bye.